From my private website, the Sun Series, parts 25O through 25T, posted on my private website in August and September of 2019. Part 25O, the shortening of days on the flat Earth. There are two signs for the shortening of days. Number one, due to tightening and speeding up of the plasma tube of light, the 24-hour day is shorter. The total length of one revolution on the plane of the Sun focal point is less than 24 hours. Watch time for this sign. Number two, due to the focusing and narrowing of the focal point Sun light. The total surface area of the plane that receives sunlight is becoming less or decreasing. Just like in this demonstration, the floodlight will decrease into a spotlight and eventually even get down into a fine point of light. So remember, the yin equals the night. The yang equals the daylight. So the dark night or non-illuminated yin side increases. And the sunny daylight or illuminated yang side decreases. Which means the daylight from sunrise to sunset becomes smaller or shortens. The actual time of the daylight will shorten or decreases due to the focusing of the focal point sun light. So here is the process. As the sun focal point continues to go north, after summer solstice, and continues to move north, the sun focal point is at the Tropic of Cancer at summer solstice, the second red line from the top. The sun focal point must now travel from the Tropic of Cancer to the North Pole. Every revolution losing more daylight and gaining more nighttime. At some point, the blue sun will be seen with the dark night sky closing inward toward the sun. The dark, starlit sky will slowly become the backdrop for the night and the daytime sky. The blue sun will become visible due to the dark backdrop and becomes the blue star, a star seen in the daytime or day star. 2 Peter 1:19, King James Version. We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts. Or as the Hopi described it, the blue star Kachina. And now, the bad news. The daylight or sunlight will eventually get so focused and hot. It will incinerate anything beneath its ray as it moves northward to the center axis or North Pole, igniting anything combustible. All of the cities, forests, oil and gas fields, saltwater bodies, and all of the newly released and highly combustible methane gases in the north. All of the permafrost will have melted and released its methane stores. And the Arctic Ocean will have grown warm enough to release all of its methane also. The entire region from the Arctic Circle to the North Pole will go kaboom. The cork holding in the pressure is now popped. And the pressure releases. The EMPCOE starts. Expansion begins for the growth of the cell you live on. If you haven't noticed yet at how perfectly everything ties together, everything has a function to play in the life cycle of every cell. Next video, part 25P, distance and time on the flat Earth. Part 25P, distance and time on the flat Earth. The time in hours and minutes does not matter in the context of the sun focal point spiraling inwards or outwards. How many revolutions are made or a day is what is important for the timetable of events. Counting the days is what is important, not the hours in the day. So how many times the sun focal point traverses or passes over, wink, the sky above you. North Pole to Arctic Circle, 1,650 miles. Arctic Circle to Tropic of Cancer, 2,967 miles. Tropic of Cancer to Equator, 1,622 miles. Tropic to Tropic, 3,244 miles. Tropic of Cancer to North Pole, 4,617 miles. If the sun focal point continues to move north at summer solstice, how much time in days before the sun focal point reaches the North Pole? Let's start by what we know. How fast does the sun focal point travel along the plane? The sun focal point will be spiraling into the center of the plane, or to the North Pole. From solstice to solstice, it takes the sun focal point 6 months to travel from the Tropic of Cancer to Capricorn, or vice versa. The distance from tropic to tropic is 3,244 miles. So the sun focal point travels 3,244 miles in a 6-month period. 365.25 days in a year. Divide by 2 equals 182.625 days from tropic to tropic. Three thousand 244 miles divided by 182.625 days equals 17.7632 miles per day. At summer solstice, the sun focal point is at the Tropic of Cancer and then begins its northward inward spiral to the North Pole. The distance from the Tropic of Cancer to the North Pole is 4,617 miles. 4,617 miles divided by 17.7632 miles a day equals 259.9194 days, or rounded up 260 days. Summer solstice is June 20th in 2020. June 20th, 2020, next summer solstice. 260 days from that date is March 7th, 2021. That's when the sun will reach the center point at the North Pole. So you can see you will have plenty of time once you see the early sign of the sun going outside of its normal parameters to get to your location well ahead of the brain dead zombie masses. Now some good news. It is not going to happen this Christmas. The sun focal point is moving south, which is within its normal parameters and movement. Next video, part 25P. Just in case I am wrong on the flat earth. Part 25Q. Just in case I am wrong on the flat earth. Preface. When you understand how your world works completely, you understand the truth can never be revealed to the masses. Kimberly and I have known that since the beginning. No delusions here. Me starting up the Sun series again and her starting the Masters and Controller series has put us on very thin ice. We pissed off a lot of very powerful people, and they have set the border collies loose on us. We plan on doing a video soon on how they are making our lives nearly impossible to carry on in the blue sky system. We don't give a shit what they continue to do to us. They have really pissed both of us off, and we are not going down without a fight, and we will have the last word. Watch the sun position on winter solstice just to make sure I am correct. If I have it backwards and blue sky to red sky is the sun focal point going outwards towards the flip ring or the South Antarctic ring, then winter solstice would be the date that the sun focal point would continue to move south. The distance from the Tropic of Capricorn to the Antarctic ring is the same as Cancer to the North Pole, 4,617 miles. The number of days would be the same as in the other EMPCOE scenario, 260 days. Remember, winter solstice, then 3 days of no movement of the sun's position. Then on Christmas Day, it begins to move again to begin its long, slow 260-day outward movement to the South Antarctic ring or flip ring. So starting the 260 days at Christmas, what a coincidence, or as I like to say, what a coinkadink. 9/11, December 25th, Christmas Day, plus 260 days, the time it takes for the sun to travel to its furthest point out south is 260 days. And that lands you right on 9/11. Yep, 9/11. And now you know why the ritual sacrifice on 9/11 2001 and all of the 9/11 coding. You're welcome. I have a gift of seeing things others can never see. Next video, part 25R, 9/11 on the flat earth. Part 25R, 9/11 on the flat earth. Appearances can be deceiving. A picture is worth 1,000 words. World Trade Center complex, 7 buildings, completed in 1973. Height, World Trade Center 1, 1,368 feet. World Trade Center 2, 1,362 feet. Stories, 110. 10 million square feet of office space. 50,000 workers. Empty space. One World Trade Center, or Freedom Tower, erected in the same location as the Twin Towers. Completed November 3rd, 2014. Height 1776 feet. Stories 104. 3.5 million square feet of office space. 20,000 workers. Empty space. The Twin Towers were just radio transmitters, dressed up as skyscrapers to deceive the public. No different than the Eiffel Tower, just a good old radio transmitter with different decks for tourists. Radio transmitters used for communication and the Twin Tower buildings used for a different type of communication. Symbolism. Symbolism. Noun. The practice of representing things by symbols. Symbol. Noun. Something used for or regarded as representing something else. A material object representing something immaterial. Just really big transmitters, all dressed up for their planned ritual. Radio transmitters built on Radio Row in New York City, a symbol for communication for the world to see. Why destroy the twin radio transmitter towers in a ritual? It's all about the symbolism. Two towers. Into one tower. After their planned ritual via a controlled demolition, in memorial, they erected the twin blue beams or blue rays of light. The two blue beams crossing to form one light. What did the twin towers, the destruction by terror, and the two pillars of light represent? The sun and moon, of course, or off course. The twin towers or twin pillars in masonry. One pillar with the sun over it, the other pillar with the moon over it. Next video, part 25S. Off course on the flat earth. Part 25S. Off course on the flat earth. In case of emergency, call 911 or 911. For all of the international members, in America, we dial 911 or 911 for emergencies, a system set up in 1968 for first responders. The controllers chose 911 as their code or symbol for emergency, one of the dates of the reoccurring cataclysm, or EMPCOE. The members in their club all know the coding and symbolism. And instead of using a phone to call all their members, they used this, their coded 911 emergency call on 9/11/2001 for all their members to see worldwide. What was their message they were conveying to their members? The Twin Towers represented the fixed paths or revolutions of the sun and moon, unchanging, symbolizing or saying all is fine and nothing to worry about, while the twins, sun and moon, are fixed in their paths or revolutions. The destruction of the Twin Towers on 9/11 said the paths or revolutions are no longer fixed. And the twin lights representing the sun and moon and their paths or revolutions have moved off course. The earliest sign to detect the EMPCOE will occur. The controllers know how important it is to watch the signs in heaven, the sun, moon, stars, and sky. They detected the change in paths or revolutions of the sun and moon prior to 9/11/2001 and used the terror attack as the starting gun to implement their plans for the coming cataclysm, or EMPCOE. In case of emergency, call 911 or 911. Emergency or emergence. Emergence, noun. The process of coming into view or becoming exposed after being concealed. Their call to their fellow members to start preparations for the impending terror to come. A call almost 20 years ago. We had 20 years to prepare. So did they. They, meaning you, the slaves. Independence Day. Resurgence. Resurgence, noun. An increase or revival after a period of little activity, popularity, or occurrence. Synonyms: renewal, revival, recovery, rally, upturn, come back, reinvigoration, reawakening, resurrection, reappearance, re-emergence, rejuvenation, regeneration, new birth, rebirth, renaissance, new dawn, new beginning. Independence Day resurgence. Words have meaning for a reason. Next video, part 25T. Independence and revolution on the flat earth. Part 25T. Independence and revolution on the flat earth. How do the controllers hide the true history of the EMPCOEs? Through plagues, wars, rebellions, and revolutions. Example: a 7-year-long revolutionary war. Or the Revolutionary War of the Sun. Revolution, noun, late 14th century, originally of celestial bodies, from Old French revolution. Course, revolution, of celestial bodies, 13th century, Latin, revolvere, turn, roll back. The sun turns or rolls back in its path or revolution from solstice to solstice, its dependent parameters or set order. Dependent, adjective, determined or conditioned by another. Independent, adjective, not dependent on something else. In meaning not or opposite of. For independence to occur, the sun must break its dependence on its set order or parameters. Cancer to Capricorn. Independence Day, the day the sun leaves its dependency behind and rebels or revolts and ushers in chaos, disorder, and war. And the rebellion, war, disorder, or chaos will continue until the sun re-establishes its revolution or its set parameters from Capricorn to Cancer, or the New World Order, order out of chaos. The Revolutionary War, revolutionary order of the sun to disorder and chaos, back to a revolutionary order. The coding and symbolism is in how they, the controllers, name or describe things. Now the coding within the Revolutionary War itself. Coat, verb, to cover or spread with a finishing, protecting, or enclosing layer. Or an enclosing layer like the sky and waters above. Where the blue coats or the blue sky defeated the red coats. or the red sky. The Holy Grail enables you to see and hear the codes. All of the answers are in the coding and symbolism. Next video, part 25U, time versus days on the flat earth. Next part will be made public soon. Membership to my private site is open for a limited time. See instructions on my homepage to become a member. Note, cost of membership will be increasing significantly soon. Donations welcome. Pay via PayPal to my email address. Make sure email is correct. brian.lambert33@gmail.com. All monies donated count toward the cost of membership.